Hello everybody and welcome to a bit of a different video. Today I'm going to be checking out a few different Backrooms games on Roblox. I've pulled a few friends in to check a few of them out with me, and then I've also just kind of done some on my own. So yeah, guess let's just get into the first one with the Backrooms. So, this one ended up being my favorite and least favorite of the ones that I played, for kind of the same reason. Which doesn't really make any sense, but we'll get into it in a minute once we're actually in the game.
Getting back up. You look around. The air around you is cold. The area around you seems surreal.
So this was a bit of an odd one compared to the rest of the games I end up playing for this video, and that's mostly just because this one wasn't really as Backrooms as the rest of them, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it. But it didn't really, I guess, play the way I expected. It still had the same vibe of, like, you're in a garage, you're in this parking garage, you have to try and find a way out, and then you end up in a different area, and you have to find your way out, and so on and so forth. But the way about going around and collecting items was just a little different. And obviously, as you can see in the corner, we have a hunger bar, a stamina bar, a health bar, and the usual sanity bar, which obviously we have to keep an eye on. But the way that these bars work is what really interested me, because the sanity bar doesn't just naturally go down. It only goes down when you see a monster or something of the sorts. The stamina bar, obviously, whenever you're running, it'll go down. And the hunger bar just kind of naturally goes down. But the hunger bar goes down very quickly. Like, to an almost absurd point. And that was the one thing I really didn't quite like about this game, was just the amount of food that you needed was just not in the map. Basically every, 2 to 3 minutes or so, it seemed like, all the crates and things around the map would reset, and you would get new items. However, it was very rare that those items were going to be food, and even if they were, they filled like maybe a quarter of your hunger bar. Okay then. There was also that, which was happening just every once in a while. There was random monologuing, I guess, that didn't really make any sense. I do appreciate that they have voice acting, but it just, the times that it was going off didn't really work, to say the least. Anyway, the other really interesting thing about this game is the ability to craft, which honestly I actually quite enjoyed. I thought that that was quite interesting, quite different. And generally, I just like the way that the game was organized and, like, the amount of different places you could go. And though I have played through a good chunk of the game at this point, I am still quite confused about a few things. So after dying and having to go around and gather some more stuff, I actually did end up making my way to a new area within the map and decided to kind of explore around a little bit. I wasn't exactly sure where I was going still or what I was supposed to be doing, so it was just kind of a lot of randomly running around. But sometimes that's just kind of what you gotta do. Now, another thing I want to mention about this video quickly is I didn't want to play through the entirety of the games, not only because then this video would be like a few hours long, but also just because I wanted to let you all be able to still experience the game and be able to find stuff that maybe I couldn't. And especially being that some of these games were so just map-wise, they were just large. Especially this one. The map on this game is ridiculous. To the point where I was getting quite lost. So, yeah. But I just thought it would be nice to kind of show a little bit of the game to get people interested, but not enough to ruin the entire experience so people don't play it. So after making it out of that area, I wanted to go back to the door we had found earlier that needed a keycard, because while I was in there, I had actually found a keycard that I thought maybe could be used for the door. So I did my best to make my way back to the door so that I could, use the keycard and see if we could find something new. Maybe another new area, maybe some new items, just something. And so, after using our keycard, we made it into this main sort of room. I say main sort of room because this room seems to appear in most Backrooms games, and it also usually is quite important to the storyline. But anyway. And I ended up deciding to kind of leave it here because I feel like we've gotten quite a bit done, we've explored quite a bit, and I feel like I've given you guys a good idea of what this game is kind of going to be like. So I guess let's move on to the next Backrooms game, the Backrooms Redacted. So this is the first of two that I ended up inviting a friend for. But this one was a lot more Backrooms, I feel like. Or a lot more of what I feel like I know Backrooms as, compared to the last one. Because this one is more, we've got the, normal yellow walls that you see, and then you've kind of got to find the exit, and then once you do, then you go to a different area, and a lot of the areas kind of reminded me of other Backrooms games I've seen. Now, once we had found the exit, we had three options. We ended up going for the blue one first, heading into the next area. And this next area through the blue slide was interesting, to say the least. And if I'm being honest, we didn't last very long. But I mean, that's to be expected. We just started. So, after dying in that one, we made our way back to it, just to see if maybe we could, get through it this time, and try avoiding that giant monster. Now that we knew that it was going to kill us in one hit. We made sure to take a little look around the first little area, just, in case there was something else over there that we needed to pick up or something. Then we headed back into where we had been attacked the first time. And while wandering, we ended up finding a ladder, which took us to a birthday party level, I guess? This one was much more relaxed than the last one. This level was basically just run around and collect the cakes. And then the door would open. Nothing crazy. So we just ran through, quickly collecting them all, and made our way out. After that, we had made our way to the hub. The hub is basically an area that you can get to where there's just a whole bunch of different levels. You basically, at this point, have access to, I think, literally every single level, or pretty much all of them anyway. And so we were just kind of taking a peek to see how many levels there were. We got up to about 10, and then we were like, okay, you know, let's go back. Let's go to like 2 or 3 or whichever one that we haven't done yet, and just kind of go from there. And so we headed to level 2, which is a sort of sewer system. We ended up running around for a little while, just kind of randomly ran into something that tried to kill us, and eventually found what we were looking for. Kind of. Or at least we knew we were heading the right way because of it. After a few more levels, we had made it to the Endless City. Found a small shop and kind of checked it out, interacted with the shop owner, and then we kind of just wandered a little bit, looking around at all the different buildings. We noticed a small park that we headed towards, and after heading through the park and wandering down the street, we found a small coffee shop. So we ended up going through and interacting with a few of the NPCs, just seeing what they had to say, and ended up leaving it here, just because I thought this was a nice relaxing way to kind of end this one. Just the relaxing music, having a little coffee, you know, just hanging out. So, our third and final Backrooms game for this video is called Escape the Backrooms. Don't know why I pronounced it like that, but anyway. This one, I believe, is actually based on a game, I think it's on Steam, called Escape the Backrooms. And from what I know about it, this is actually quite accurate. So I was quite impressed with this one. The one thing I will say is after a while of just kind of running around or like wandering around this main area, it was giving me a bit of a headache. So just a little warning here. I think it was just the way that my character was kind of bobbing up and down as I was moving, and just the walls. I don't know, really, but just keep that in mind. Because I did actually end up having to take a small break partway through on this one. But anyway. So after finishing the first area, we not so quickly made our way into this area, which was quite terrifying, to say the least. This level is quite tight in terms of map design, and so if you get caught out in a bad spot, you are basically just dead. I mean, you can get lucky if you have a room like right next to where you are in the moment, but being that there's only about 4 or 5 on each floor, you may not get so lucky. Anyway, I basically went ahead and worked my way down floor by floor, checking each room, because I believe the goal is kind of that one of the doors will have the exit through it. And I don't know if this randomizes or if it's the same door every time. Guess you'll all have to check once we find the exit. So we had made our way into the main hallway. So for the time being, we are safe, or at least somewhat so. Now the big thing was trying to find the Meg door, because only one of these doors would open, and unfortunately I had gone the wrong way at first. But once I found the Meg door, headed inside and started to work away on the security check. Basically, with the security check, you just have to go through and click all of the numbers in order from smallest to largest. And as you go through, they slowly get more and more difficult, and they end up adding negative numbers into the mix, which does make it a little more difficult, but I was able to just about figure it out. And head into the main Meg room. we turned on the power. And this is actually where I'm going to leave this one. I did end up figuring out the code into the computers. It's literally just the date on one of the notes within the room, but I will leave that for all of you to figure out. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Like I said at the start, the links to all 3 of the games I've played today will be in the description down below, so you can go check them all out. And, yeah. I guess I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone!